Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 70 of Orchid Bay. We hope you're having a wonderful day. As actually chilling out in the Everglades National Park as we start today's episode. I really love the view of that temple up there, right? Love a sightline and city skylines. And today's episode, we're actually building not too far away from the Everglades. And if anything, it's a lesson on how man encroaches further and further upon nature. Because we're going to be doing a comment inspired by you guys. I asked you guys last episode for what should fit on this little slither of land between the airport, the mountains, the national park and the downtown, because I just had no idea what's going to fill this space. And Queen came up with a great idea. We're going to do kind of a little Olympic Park complex here. Some clubs, maybe some nicer high-rise towers. It should be a very unique build as well. So let's see what we can do with a vanilla Olympic Park, shall we? Be a lot of fun this one. So I think, of course, while we're working with the waterfront, it's going to make sense to have this keyed, especially so close to the airport. But I wouldn't be averse to playing with some kind of water features here. I think that'd be quite appropriate for an Olympic Park. So let's first of all go ahead and we're going to use the simple city key here. And we want to line this up as straight as we can. We can go for a road guideline snap seems a good point, doesn't it? And then we'll just bring this in relatively straight sections right along the coastline here. Probably all the way down towards the suspension bridge actually. There we go, look at that. As vanilla key has ever played so fair. That's a sign of a good episode ahead, isn't it? That we've got such easy vanilla key work to work with. So we may work in the water feature a little bit later on in the episode. We'll sort of see how much room we have to play with here. So I definitely want to kind of focus on the Olympic section of the build first. So we want to be using a stadium, yeah. So of course we got some leftover from Bad Peanuts pack. So let's have our road over here. And then we'll dive into the world of Bad Peanuts stadiums. There's a few we haven't used. We've got the city baseball ground, which is a nice one, although it might be a little small, I guess, for an Olympic build. Is baseball at the Olympics? Well, it is in Orchid Bay, because we're going to have to use it. Because we've got a lot of baseball stadiums left over. The copper ball is a little too big, I think, for out here. But I think something a little bit obnoxious, like the horseshoe stadium, would actually be quite welcome for an Olympic-inspired build. Got that kind of Olympic vibe about it, hasn't it? Especially the entranceway here. So I reckon we can use this one. And plus, when the fans are sat here, if we were to clip our camera through the building to get a perspective, like what a view of the city they get from here, right, while they're watching the game. So I think that's going to be our go-to asset. I don't see there's any reason why we couldn't have like a smaller supplementary stadium nearby either. So let's get the horseshoe stadium in here, and we're going to get as close to that key as we can. Something like that, hopefully. I want to make sure I can terraform away that land. We should be okay. It's not that close to the point that it'll affect it, I don't think. It should behave itself. Not quite, is it? Let's give it one tile of breathing space then in that case. There we go. That's a little better, isn't it? Cool. So we'll have that there. So let's focus on bringing a connection into this. We'll of course have lots of grass-lined roads around here while we're working with a big sort of fancy designed sports park. And we'll grab a little curve tool here. Can we hit a guideline there? Yes, we can. I'll tell you what, actually, let's keep this road going through the park, first of all, parallel with the national road that's passing through here, and we'll work out some fancier connections at some point. Let's also line up some roads with the key itself, because we're going to have some sort of nightlife and entertainment area over here as well. So if we wanted to include the second stadium, we'd have to, I think, keep it baseball. What does this one look like? We're going to spend a fortune today placing all these. I do like this one because it's sunken down, so I think this one deserves its own build. So I think in that case, why don't we go with the other one? This one here. It's kind of a smaller stadium. I don't hate that. I definitely want to allow a little bit of terraforming though, because I think I want to just switch it 180 degrees. So again, it's kind of facing back toward the skyline. Cool. So let's flip that around. It's easier just to replace it, isn't it? And we'll have that there, I reckon. Cool. It's also going to use up a bunch of unique buildings for us as well, isn't it? Which is great. Cool. So we got two stadiums here. From a gameplay perspective, these are going to attract an absolute ton of sims, so we should really consider some public transport here. What's available in the downtown? We do have this metro line here that's linked directly into the main central transit hub, which of course will always take a minute to have a look at because this is the busiest one in the city by a mile. So what's the redevelopment possibilities here? There is a unique building in the way, so we'd have to be careful. I reckon if we curve the metro off, we can probably just squeeze it through there. We have to lose the parking, which isn't, I guess, the worst thing ever. Bring it across the bay into the park, and we can have some elevated metro flowing through here as well. And we can just have a metro stop. I think we'll go with that idea, unless I'm neglecting anything else. There's obviously underground metro that comes into the airport. An underground stop would be significantly easier to develop here. And also connects back into the same line, so maybe that's the call. There's a bus platform here as well, so we can definitely get some kind of like shuttle bus service running back to the Olympic Park to the downtown too. And I think trains are definitely off limits. It's going to be significant amounts of reworking required with the infrastructure to get trains over there. I reckon underground metro and buses then is the best call, isn't it? Let's come into the world of underground metro stations, because I know we've got some good ones, especially with the train stations park. Is there anything I might be neglecting in the vanilla? No, I don't think there is. The content creator seems to be the way to go. So underground metro, we've got a couple of choices. Of course, these all blend really nicely with the these stadiums, don't they? It'd be really cool if we could get that to align, wouldn't it, with the scoreboard there? It's like the track's coming under the stadium, and almost like, you know, there is an entrance into the stadium from the metro. Orientation is going to be delicious here. Let's see if we can work this out. So we want to be placing this probably on a pedestrian road. Actually, we'll bring a service point over at some point, I imagine. So yeah, we're at the very edge of the asset here, right? That's right, yeah, it is. So we'll bring this right up, no grid snapping while we're near a key, of course, as always. Let's have that right there. I'm hoping this is going to centralize. If it doesn't, oh, it is, isn't it? Is it going to centralize? Yes, it is. Absolutely wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. That's perfect. Great. So now it's like the tunnel, right, is going under the stadium, where people can perhaps, you know, get inside the stadium directly before the line tunnels back underground and links back in with the airport. So let's get that line established as well. You can just see the absolute swarm of people inside that terminal as well. Or trying to repath now because I moved the metro. There we go. Cool. So also direct connections into the airport, which is going to be fantastic for an Olympic Park build, isn't it? Wonderful. So if we're going to be having pedestrian streets around here, I don't want everything tree lined again. It's going to get a little bit too tree spicy if we start doing that. Now Queen also suggested a indoor sports hall as well as an outdoor stadium for this Olympic area, so I reckon something from Campus Varsity actually might be a good shout here. Possibly the aquatic centre might pair quite nicely. Now I don't want to block the view of the stadium, which we shouldn't do here because they're quite high up in the stands anyway. Plus the towers are just so large as well. Let's have a look at that. Let's have this come around the back and hook it in, and then what's the possibility of having that varsity building there? Cannot be placed on this road, you're being serious? Okay, well, let's have it as a little tree median then, just for right now. I don't know what happens if we upgrade that road afterwards, I'm not sure. And that is a perfect centralization again, isn't it? It really is. We also don't have a basketball arena in the city at all yet. Let me just check the basketball. This is going to be a massively expensive episode. But it's fine. Let's just remove that road for right now. If we were to test out the basketball arena, I think this one might be a little bit too dominant for what I'm after. Yes, I think it is. But having said that, we do need to find a way to work in a basketball arena somewhere in the city. But for right now, the aquatic centre will do. I've also seen you guys as well asking for kind of a city recap. Which we will do, I think maybe next episode, for episode 71. We might just do kind of, you know, just a slow crawl through all the areas and check out all the transport now it's all interconnected. We'll of course have a big cinematic farewell once the city comes to a close, but you guys have been asking for a city tour. So expect that next episode, I imagine. But either way, back to today's episode. I'm happy with the aquatic centre. So let's hook that into the road network. And we also need to find a way to bring this down as well. I guess I'd also like to pedestrianise a significant front of the key here as well. Again, I want to make sure I can remove that dirt texture before we continue. We should be able to here. Actually, maybe not that much actually. Can you really tell? I want a little bit of dirt up against the key, I suppose. Does look better without it though, doesn't it? Yeah, I think we will. We'll do the same thing we did with the stadium. I think just a tile of space is more than welcome. Because we can connect it in with paths and trees and whatnot there if we want to. So let's keep this pedestrian road going all the way to the back of the stadium. We're starting to see some road hierarchy form here now, aren't we? Can we have a look at that pedestrian point now actually? Let's have a little check. I imagine we're going to need a large service point here. I'd love to factor this in actually in with some car parking, so let's bring in some roads here. Now I want quite a bit of car parking, so we'll go for 4 tiles here. Let's go ahead and get that parking in. We'll do a combination of ground and multi-story. So let's grab 2, and then can we change those out? We can, I don't mind that pattern at all. And then we'll bring down another 4 block, combine that in there, and then just repeat that pattern this side as well. The 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we'll get a multi-story unit to sit here, I think. That's what I'm after, and then we can use that as the edge, and then maybe at the back of the multi-story is where we'll have the service point. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we'll have this sat here, I imagine. And we'll paint out our pedestrian area now to help service the metro station, and I imagine at some point we'll also have some nightlife over here as well. Fabulous, cool. And we should actually give these a connection into the road as well, shouldn't we? Let's go for that. So let's also upgrade a little bit more of this national road now into actual tarmac road, and then we'll do some asymmetrical magic here. Let's come down to a slower road as we approach the junction. If it gets too busy, I imagine we'll do a roundabout here of some kind. Something like that should be okay. Should just help keep the traffic flowing there, I think. Be the same here as well. With some dedicated turning lanes on that junction. There'll also be more further down as well once we get there. Otherwise, has anyone used this yet? No, I guess maybe it wasn't connected. Hopefully they will now. Yeah, there we go. There's a few people turning up now, isn't there? Really want to see a metro train arriving in here too. There it goes. Anyone going to get off? Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a few. Of course, on a match day, it's going to be horrendously busy here, isn't it? But it'll be a lot of fun to watch either way, I think. So let's now come down toward the edge of the stadium here. I'd like to start including a little bit of nightlife and sort of entertainment and leisure. Because the expo centre would have also worked really well here, but we used it a couple of episodes ago, didn't we? How about the aquarium as some kind of exhibition centre? It's either that or we rob the exhibition centre from the pier we did over here. But I do like that one there though, and then we either add the aquarium in down here. The aquarium wouldn't fit here though, I don't think. Too big. But on the waterfront near the international airport, this is one of the harder uniques to use, I think, but I don't hate that, you know? I think we can get away with it. It definitely wants to have a bit more sort of spice around it, doesn't it? But I think we can get away with it. Also want to make sure we place this asset appropriately too, because it's got the parking spaces on the front of it. Yeah, okay, I think we'll go for the aquarium. Could prove to be the divisive point of the build for people, but we'll see what the comment section is like. So let's just move him over there for right now. We will continue the pedestrianisation down here a little bit. Like I said, I don't want the whole thing pedestrianised, as we will be using some buildings that require sort of cars and whatnot, like casinos and stuff like that. So let's just make sure I'm not using the same pedestrian road here. Really make sure that I am. I think we'll keep the tree linings running against the water. We'll have that there. Then this road that comes out behind it we'll have as actual road. Spin that around so those parking spaces make sense. And now hopefully this tree line road can continue to develop again. This space over here isn't really set in stone, so it can always shift and adapt, of course. It's going to make sense to actually have that one as road now and have the pedestrianisation start there. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? It's like a little street corner now with those stairs. That's going to be really nice just for a detailing perspective, isn't it? Yes, please, everyone. It's a happy accident too. Because if I always forget, these stadiums have entrances on the back of them too, which really helps from a build perspective as well, doesn't it? Cool, yes, and that can continue. I'd like probably this road to now come back in and connect with that. And I guess if we're going to do that as well, actually, it makes sense to have this as road as well, doesn't it? And we can get that similar effect over here too, with the bollards coming into the pedestrians there. I think we can go with that, can't we? And I imagine this road here now will probably serve as another entrance into said Olympic Park. So just have a little 420 curve in like that. Fabulous. This guy's still whinging of garbage. You should be getting. Oh, there you go. Are we getting a match day now? Oh, yes, we are getting a match day. Yes, please, everyone. Let's smash those ticket prices up. Because we're placing a lot of stadiums here today. This is going to smash Orchid Bay's budget. These things are not expensive or not cheap to run. Cool. Oh, yes, look at that. This is going to be so good. You know, I really miss the walking point from Cities 1. Cities 2 just doesn't have the same like hustle and bustle, does it? Because the simulation's so much slower. I miss the scurry of Cities 1. I really do. You don't realise you're missing things until they go, right? Cool, but as an Olympic complex there, got a couple of baseball stadiums, an indoor sports hall, and an exhibition centre / aquarium. Don't mind that at all. So there's also another asset we haven't used yet that I am very keen to use. Oh, then again, we haven't also used a lot of these residential landmarks. How do these would look good in an Olympic Park, actually, especially on the corners like here. Yeah. Might even get, you know, so what's the noise pollution here is going to be insane, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. Possibly one of the loudest places in the city, actually, isn't it? Have a look at the noise pollution back there. Yeah, it is. It's literally louder than the airport. And the entirety of the downtown. How insane. I was about to suggest perhaps having some wall-to-wall residential here, but they're not going to survive. We could do wall-to-wall commercial, I guess. Kind of treat it like a bit of like an Olympic village where the athletes perhaps reside. Although maybe we can do that with some green cities towers a bit further down. But anyway, my original point as to why I came back into this menu was to have a look at the casino. Oh, just look at that. Fits and sits, yes please. Okay, I don't think we can deny that then, can we? Let's have that there. I also, again, wouldn't be averse to a bit more parking over here. I imagine in a facility like this, you would be just swamped with parking options. Let's have that one there. And that one like that. And actually, can we... Yeah, that's fine. We'll just leave it in there. We'll do some nice tree space in here or something. Let's go for... So let's decide on a tree for the Waterfront Boulevard. A tough one. California's shorties don't look too bad. We could go silver birch. I think silver birch always has a touch of elegance about it, doesn't it? If I can say that without sounding too pretentious. That's cool. We've also missed a little pedestrian connection here as well. Let's have that one connecting into the waterfront road there as well. Got some nice curved bollards there as well, aren't we? Which is cute. Yep, station's getting busier. Wonderful to see. We've got a match day on here as well. We do. Fantastic. I guess because we place them at the same time, the match days are always going to be in synchronization, which will be nice. There's immense possibilities for part live cheese over here as well, but I'll try to refrain. We've not really done that much part live cheese in the city, so there's no point to start now, is there? Well, this is silver birch, and then can we go for some more exotic date palms maybe on the entrances into the road? Quite extravagant over this side of the city, I think, especially for an Olympic Park area. Yeah, that's not looking too bad, is it? Lots of variation of tree there, isn't there? Love how they walk around the edge of the stadium too. I imagine we'll expand this little path pattern in our detail in time, that's will we? Yes we will, because the game loves it for most aspects anyway. Yeah, oh yes. Really love these extendable path patterns. So good. Keep it running all this direction as well. Awesome. Cool. Anyway, so we have the casino in here. I don't hate that. Also bring another road down the side of it here now as well, as we box this off. Do we want to continue around the back here actually? I think maybe we do. In the tree road there, then we'll have grassline road coming up this way. Then we'll have the curve come back from this way, I think. Do a little grass line there instead. Cool. This Waterfront's developing really nicely now, isn't it? Really happy with that. Also, we can see an example of the game now. People enjoying it. Let's actually just use play it to move the sun because it's incredibly dark on that skyline. There we go. Right, what a cool place to sit and watch a game, right? Really cool. You can see the planes moving around there as well. Really like that's got to be one of the best sight lines in the city. Especially with all those people coming out the metro station as well. Yes please. Yes please. So I'd also love to have a hotel over here as well. That's going to be appropriate, isn't it? City Hotel looks like it might be the best option, I think, from the ones we've got. How are we still not unlocked the other ones? 15,000 weekly profit. Do you really need that much to unlock the others? And after all the hotels we've placed, we're only on 5,000. Goodness gracious. I guess some of them aren't overly popular. Especially the City Hotel we just placed. No one. Nobody wants to stay here, which is fine. What do they want? They want shopping and business. Okay. Well, that's okay. So let's bring in a little road just to border this up. And then I think we'll create a little mini surrounding district here to complement the casino and the hotel together. Just with some after dark specialization. So let's grab ourselves some leisure and we'll just zone this up as commercial. Again, quite specific as to where I want this can all just grow up, but definitely don't want the rest of it here. Some police would definitely be warranted here as well, right? So let's go for a police station. The headquarters may be a little bit too big, I think. Oh, it does fit and sit there, doesn't it? Oh, does it look alright there? Let's use the other one. We always use this one, don't we? Let's go for... That one also fits and sits. Do we want the police presence right here? Although the helicopter's right next to palm leaves, that can't be safe, can it? Oh, look at that. Oh, yes, please, everyone. Oh, this will be a shot on the channel at some point, won't it? Look at that. Oh. Oh, my word. That's so exciting. There's even more coming out the other end as well. I wonder how many more people having this at the end of the line is going to funnel through this hub. Be really interesting to see that, won't it? So this bounces back into between like 2,500 to 4,000 depending on what's happening in the city. It'll be interesting to see if we can get to peak above 4,000 during the match days. We'll have to keep our eye on that. Oh, and it's still going as well. It just doesn't stop. Absolutely delicious. Yes, we'll have the police presence over there. I'm happy with that. And we can get some nightlife and whatnot knocking around here. Near the casino. Yeah, that should bring you up. You also want office space over here as well, do you? Okay. Well, I'm not averse to having perhaps a touch of office wall-to-wall in here as well, and seeing if we can actually blend that in with the nightlife. Why don't we try replace this with office wall-to-wall? We'll see what grows in. Even though we have no office demand though, do we? So yeah, it's kind of can't even satisfy a little bit of office demand because there's literally zero demand for any industry in Orchid Bay these days. And then further down this way, we also mentioned that we'd like to see some green cities towers make an appearance. Can we line up with the road guideline here? That's going to be equidistant, I think it is, isn't it? Let's also do the same thing here as well. Let's come a single tile away. And then we'll meet right on that point. Fabulous. And then bring this down. And again, we'll have another entrance into the park here as well. So we'll do that. Again, if any of these need upgrading into roundabouts, we'll see what happens in the detailing, I guess. So we're also going to draw in another district here and name it after Queen, who was the suggester behind today's build idea, and we want to give this a green cities specialization, I believe. But then within the frames that we have to play with here, I don't just want like mass zone green cities to come in. I'd quite like to have specific sizes and designs, so lots of 4x4 trails here, and then let's fill this with general kind of athletes recreation. So we'll do tropical gardens a little big. We will have that in here somewhere though. Maybe have like a Japanese garden. Then we'll do some residential. We'll have a little playground for any athletes' children that might be staying with them, such as climbing frame number 1 is always a firm favourite, isn't it? And then we'll also have a little bit of car parking in here as well. Let's do just that one there. And then any of those new parks, will they fit in here? I reckon we can get in a cute little tiny one there. And we'll change this to the little gazebo. It's quite cute, isn't it? And again, I don't want these towers getting absolutely massive. Maybe higher than level 1 would be appropriate, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And then we can just make little residential blocks now for athletes. And I guess if we could also have it on this one as well. Let's maybe do on this corner, we'll do a little basketball court, I think. And then we'll have our larger tower up this way. And I guess it's high density residential, so it should be sheltered from that noise pollution, but we'll also just do a couple little oaks in there as well, just to shelter it away. It should still be within the district as well, shouldn't it? It should. And I guess we've also got room as well there for some towers as well, haven't we? So we'll see what grows in. There's a couple of different possibilities knocking around here today, I think. And then we can keep this going down here as the district expands. We'll do one more of these. Just like that. Now we are going to get some fractured zone, but if anything that just forces us to be a bit more creative with the zoning that comes in here. And we get a skate park in as well. And why don't we look at surrounding the skate park entirely with residential. Get one thrown in there. Maybe it's like a little bit of commercial as well, just some local shops or something. Hopefully we'll get some nice University City assets in there or something. Cool, and that should just see the rest of the waterfront go up now. I mean, what is a very unique combination of assets. It's not looking too bad, is it? But it does, however, feel like a good place for a detailing time-lapse. We can come in and need to basically forest up this side of the mountain. Get some nature detail in here. Also just analyse how the traffic's flowing. I imagine one of these junctions is going to want a roundabout at some point, so we might have to allocate the space for that. Probably bring in some wall-to-wall commercial over this end again, just to complement one of the pedestrian buildings we've got over here. And then detail up all these little spaces with playgrounds and shops and other sort of plant and prop detailing, everything we love in vanilla. But otherwise, let's detail up the Queen Olympic Park, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, let's have a little detailing review, shall we? So a wonderful little green belt has formed around the empty spaces near the stadium, alongside a little bit of airport apronage around the service point. And we've also got lots of people walking on the quays as well now, which is always nice to see, isn't it? And of course all getting here for this match day as well. Since we've put the pathways in, they're actually walking around on the water side here, which has just really nice views to all the like severe metropolitan area of Orchid Bay. Just extremely satisfying to watch it all come together. Anyway, we've got wall-to-wall over here as well, just simple commercial, and I absolutely love the wall-to-wall stuff. Definitely one of the most underrated specializations, I think, in my opinion. It works really nicely in pretty much any space you use it. In the spaces behind the police station, did some airport apron with some tables and a park life cafe, with some park work just to help fill the space. And then over here, we do have a bit more zoning. You can just see again, just pure people, just pissing out of this metro station. It's never ending. It's pretty fantastic. I've also just noticed that there's a random bench prop there as well. Is that part of the asset? It must be. I won't be able to place it there without vanilla. Yeah, there's one there as well, isn't there? Yeah, I never noticed that one before. How funny. But either way, there's currently a match day going on as well, which is fantastic because it just means everything's going to be super, super busy. And then we'll head further into the sports park itself, where there's lots of bush lining, also during a bus pedestrian road as well. So we could accommodate those buses that we mentioned, and these are just ferrying back to the intercity station that links up with the Jigglypuff bus line. They'll hopefully see, here it is coming there. So this is the one that runs all the way back through the waterfront in the downtown area and all the way down here. So again, just more interconnectivity to get back across pretty much the entirety of Orchid Bay. From wherever you are in the city really now, there's just public transport everywhere for it. It's really nice to see. Very satisfying as well. And we've got info booth, we've got the playground as well for any tiny people. We've also got the stadium, the aquarium in here now. Car park starting to get a little bit of use here too. We've got casinos. I really like having the casino up against the waterfront here. Just turned out really nicely. And especially the view from kind of this axis here just looks really nice, doesn't it? It's a really nice flow to the build. It blends in really nicely in what was a really awkward bit of land to use. And through this way, we've got pathways linking people back onto the quays, although they don't seem massively keen on actually walking back into on this bit of quay. It's mainly down toward the stadium where they're utilising it, but it's okay. They have the option there if they need it. And then the bus does actually stop back on its way through the Olympic Village here as well before it jumps back on the highway road to get back over the suspension bridge over there. Then the Green Cities flats worked out really nicely, especially over here. We've got some really nice, tasteful vanilla alleyway action that's generated here with the zoning and the commercial against the back of the skate park. Love that. That's a really happy prop accident, something you can't do in vanilla, of course, because you just don't have access to all these industrial props for some silly reason. But yeah, that worked out really nicely. Super happy with that. This guy's about to pull off a sick half pipe, is it? I don't know. I'm not a skateboarder. I never played Tony Hawk when I was a kid either. Skateboarding is not my forte. Yeah, and then the Green Cities flats are perfect for that Olympic Village vibe, right? Lots of little pathways through here, more parks. Happen to get some really nice repeated assets coming in here with some 3x3 Green Cities commercial. Just to get some flats in, which is really nice. And then we round up with a tropical garden and a little bit more commercial on the end. And traffic's fine. We've got all of these dedicated turning lanes, of course, on the major junctions with the asymmetrical roads, but I think it'd even survive without that, to be honest. And even on the match days, the metro is just basically handling 99% of the traffic load for people wanting to come in and enjoy a match day. And there it is again, we've got the people sat here in the stadium watching the game across the entirety view of Orchid Bay, which is really nice, isn't it? What a tremendous view that is. Yeah, super happy with it. And again, big shout out to Quem, or Queem, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name. I guess it's Queem, right? If it's meme with a Q, I guess is how you read it. But really great idea, totally inspired this whole little slither of land here. So big shout out to you, buddy. And I hope you enjoyed having the build named after yourself. But otherwise, guys, that is going to do it for today. Let's thank you all so much for watching, as always. If you want to continue to see CS1 content on the channel, please do hit those likes, comments, and shares down below. Helps me justify the time putting into these videos to keep making City Skylines 1 content for you all. It's really humbling every week to just read the comments about how much you're still enjoying Orchid Bay, despite the release of CS2. So thank you for all support, it really means the world to me. Massive shout out to all the patrons supporting the channel with a special world call to Felix Wilkinson. Any patrons are really helping making this sort of content possible, so thank you for continuing to support the channel in all the ways that you do. you are interested in supporting further, there are links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming below. All help support the work we do here. So if you're interested, check them out. Otherwise, I'll shut up and leave it there. Please do enjoy your cinematics, but let's thank you all so much for watching. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.